Right.
Are we still there? Please let us know when we live.
You are like.
Okay, beautiful. Namaste, everyone. Welcome this evening, the warmest welcome. Miriam, namaste to Drinking Bliss, Divine Satsang, and tonight is going to be an amazing night. I love the subject, the exploration of the relationship between sexual energy and the third eye, the Ajna, and Shiva Tattva. A lot of people don't know what is Shiva Tattva, and so what is the connection? And how can we use our own inner divine power to really tap beyond the physicality of this realm? I'm going to talk about ojas also as well. So, and we'll have a guided meditation, and we're going to do another yoga meditation, follow with Nidra yoga, which you can put your sankalpa, your intention, and you're going to learn a little bit how to raise, transmute your sexual energy for your highest good. But before we start, I always start with an invocation. So if you may close your eyes and just sit with your straight spine and turn your hands upward, in a mudra of receiving. Make sure you sit straight, because the spine, many people don't know the spine is what we call in the yogic tradition the mirudanda. It means it's the axis between earth and infinity. So this is where energy travel. So your energy really start from the way you carry your whole posture with your spine and for your organs. So, and the mudra like that of receiving with your hands upward, and look slightly up a little bit towards your Ajna, what we call the third eye in the yogic tradition. And I'll be chanting an invocation in Sanskrit, and it's very beautiful. It's short, and it's just to invite the divine within all of us and all the ascended master to be with us in this moment. It comes from the Guru Puja. I won't do the whole Guru Puja, this is 8 minutes, but you can stop the music. Mindfully put your awareness at the very root of your perineum in your sacrum, what we call the Muladhara, It's the base. And just keep your eyes closed and just let go of all your thoughts. Just leave your mind outside. Just stay in a beautiful state of wonderment of a child, of wanting to know and to be here in the present moment. And just put your awareness going up. Indulge in breathing and be mindful of your breath. Feel it caressing your spine going up. One heart. One last one. Feel it, just feel it caressing your meridanda going up and down. Just ground yourself in this present moment. My home is now. There's nothing else. This moment is eternal. See, when you hear the birds singing outside, listen to them. It's God singing. You may open your eyes. So this is a very simple, very beautiful practice to ground yourself every moment, you know, and to feel what's going on here. How was your breath? Did you feel your breath was stuck? Most people breath get very stuck into their anahata because they hold so much tension and conflicts, emotion and feelings. They suppress so much. And so when your mind subtlest, because what we're talking about tonight is from the grossest to the subtlest, from compulsion to pure consciousness. We can say also from untruth to truth, and darkness to light, ignorance to enlightenment. And so Shiva, it's a word in Sanskrit. It means that which that is not. It is Shiva Tattva. Tattva means the essence of what is not and what is. So Shiva Tattva is, in the yogic tradition, is infinite, eternal, and immortal, and unchanging. Everything that comes from, that is sustained, and that is dissolved, is Shiva Tattva. So it's a principle. It's a principle in the sense, like, you could call it God, you could call it Allah, you could call it Brahma, you could call it so many things, but it is beyond religion. It is the great Maharishi over thousands of years. They have really been able to perceive the absolute truth and be able to express this into words that is beyond anything that is filled with dogma and doctrine. So Shiva Tattva is not something that you try to understand or try to experience. It's right here in the here and now within. It animates everything. The whole cosmos is Shiva Tattva. Everything is Shiva Tattva. When actually there is a beautiful story in the yogic lore that again, this is just a myth. They're not real people, but that's why it's so rich of myth and lore in the yogic tradition. Brahma, the creator, was discussing with Vishnu, the preserver who sustained the universe. And they were thinking, how expansive is Shiva? We want to figure this out. And they really, really wonder. And they concluded, that which that is not. And where the confusion with many people, especially people who are spiritual seeker, who are into yoga, and also because of other master, including my own previous guru, they even have completely different view. It's been said though throughout the yogic tradition there is a being, a real being, who came on earth. We don't know if he was let's put it that way, if he was born. They call it like a swahambho, one that is self-created. That is called the Adiyogi, the first guru, the first yogi who brought the science of self-realization. So that's why sometimes when they talk about Shiva, people think of it as a person, as a being. But the true meaning of Shiva is Shiva Tattva, that which is encompassing the whole universe, the whole cosmos. It's the dance of the opposite, because the creation is creation. It's creation because it does not have a gender. It's filled with opposite. And that's what animates this reality that we live in, and that's how we can experience life and have an emotion and the whole dance that you see. Even the yogic tradition, for instance, Nataraja is another principle. Nataraja, he danced the dance of the opposite. He danced the dance of Shiva Tattva, spinning the 5 elements, because also the one of the main mantra in the yogic tradition, and I'm sure some of you are familiar, Om Namah Shivaya. Its resonance is really powerful. It really represents exactly the dance of Nataraja, of the 5 elements, because it represents the 5 elements. Everything in the universe, in the creation, the physical realm, is made of 5 elements. Most people don't realize that our body is made out of 75% water, our brain over probably 85-90%. Can you imagine our brain over 85% of water? So when you chant a mantra in the yogic tradition, water Shiv Swarupa, Vishva Swarupa, meaning it has no form, and yet it can take any form. That's why in the yogic tradition we say Shiva can be Shambho. Shambho is another mantra. Shambho means it's the happy. It's again, we talk about pure consciousness. Pure consciousness can be happy. It's Shambho. Bolonat, another mantra. Bolonat, the most innocent one. The innocent aspect of our Creator. And there is the fierce one, Agora. That fierceness that you see in the universe is there. The same way with another form, you would look at Rudra is the fierce one. Agora is one who's intensely, dreadful intense, and that's another form. It's just pure energy we're talking about, how things manifest into the cosmos. It's fascinating. I'm getting there. I know all of you want to know, okay, where's she going? Sexual energy and the third eye, and see, most people don't know that sexual energy is everywhere in the cosmos. In the creation could not exist without sexual energy. If you look deep into it, if you look at the trees and the plant and the flower, they have a certain sexual energy, they reproduce, because this sexual energy is all about reproducing, it's all about manifesting. Nothing can be in the physical form come to life through Shiva Tattva, pure consciousness, if there is not the sexual energy. Everything is sexual, is sensual. You see that in nature, you see that with the birds, you see that with the animal, you see that with the insect. If that sexual energy did not exist in the physical realm, we would not exist today. The same with human. So sexual energy is not bad and it's not good. The ultimate truth is there is no quality to it. It's only the mind who's projecting, especially some religion, put a moral judgment on it. Sexual energy, it's a bad thing. You know, you have committed a sin if you see what I'm saying. It's a moral judgment. Spirituality has nothing to do with moral judgment. And it's beyond that. It's about the ultimate truth, the absolute truth of what is. That which that is not. What is that pure consciousness? How is it manifesting? If you really pay attention and look deep, you will see everywhere that sensual, sexual energy is there. And it's, in a way, on the it's from Sanskrit. It's a non-physical dimensional energy that we create into our energy field, into our aura. Ojas bring that magnetic, that charisma, that inner power, that magnetism about you being. It brings about the opening. Eventually, when you learn how to transmute and you start transmuting, eventually you can bring it to the third eye. So sexual energy, we would say in the yogic path, and especially in a lot of spiritual tradition, we would say chastity is is the highest virtue. If you're very serious as a sincere seeker to experience your true nature of who you are. And one thing I did mention earlier about Shiva Tattva, the true essence of Shiva Tattva, of pure, remember, if you just translate from Shiva Tattva, you could just say it's a pure consciousness. That is formless, and that takes a form. So the true essence of it is Satchit Ananda. Satchit Ananda of our true divine presence, of our true divine divinity within ourselves when we realize truly our true nature. So I have discussed in the past, but I'll repeat it this evening because some of you might not know. Satchit Ananda, and Siddha, for thousands of years, Maharishi, all the great sages in the yogic tradition, and yogini, and so many masters, ascended masters have talked about our Satchit Ananda. We all have it. Sat, which means the absolute truth. Chit, omnipotent, omnipresent, unchanging. It's imperishable, because Shiva Tattva also is from the perishable to the imperishable, from compulsion to consciousness. And so Satchit Ananda, and then Ananda is pure bliss. Not bliss generated from the outside because someone loves you, someone gave you a present, or you won the lottery, or because when I see, still today, in the 21st century, we have wars in Ukraine. How do you pronounce it?
Ukraine.
Ukraine. Thank you. Ukraine. Thank you. It's pretty heartbreaking today that the human species is not more evolved, because most human beings their energies in the lower chakra. So let's talk just briefly about the anatomy of the subtle body. We won't go in depth because this is a whole program for that, but so you understand the basic fundamental of how to transmute sexual energy to bring it to the third eye. So we have 114 chakra. Most people think we have only 7, but we have, and I can tell you, you can learn how to spin them. You feel it. 2 of them above your head, where the Sahasrara is above the head. So the main, and I won't go into the whole anatomy because it's a whole hour of teaching on that. And it's in Becoming the Light, actually, on the Mastery Program online. And we will talk further and more in depth in Radiating the Light Advanced Program. But for tonight, so you understand the very fundamental, very basic, the 7th main chakra is from the root base, is the Muladhara. It is actually the most important one because it's the foundation. It keeps you solid in the physical realm. It's very important to have a very base, strong Muladhara. Most people think it's the third eye or the Sahasrara, but it's not. The Muladhara is the most important one. Because if you don't have a strong Muladhara, the whole foundation won't be strong. And then after that, you have the Swadhisthana, the Manipuraka, Anahata. Anahata is the heart chakra. This is the bridge between the very physical realm and of existential and of the beyond. When the Anahata start opening, this is where you're experiencing a lot of things. Then you will ask a question tonight, Chris. I know you had a question on that, because the Anahata is really the beginning of a true spiritual awakening. And a lot of things happen there at many levels, even on the mystical level. And it's a phenomenal journey, but part of it can be a little bit painful. So sexual energy is always in the lower chakra, especially in the Swadhisthana. Is the energy center of, we would say, of pleasure. So sex is more there. Again, there's no judgment about that. It's not right, it's not wrong. It's great for procreation. It brings the dance of Shiva Tattva. But one who wants to experience their true nature, they want to transcend. They want to especially as you're aging, you know, sex is not as important anymore. And if one has this deep longing, this is what happens normally. When your Anahata open up, you start having this longing. And a lot of people don't know, even are not even aware they have a longing, because they don't know how to verbalize, how to put into words. But they know they're experiencing something, there's something they want to know, there's something they're feeling, this intensity about them, this cry. It's like, we could call it soul searching. Like, I want to know, I want to experience. And have you noticed that happiness doesn't fulfill you? This life doesn't fulfill you. No matter what you seek, what you look for, it's always for one next thing, the next thing, the next thing. But when the energy moves in the Anahata, it's open up a new dimension. And this is the beauty about spiritual awakening, because you're getting a glimpse of what is this all about? And when the energy moves into the Vishuddhi, which is the throat chakra, it opens up a completely dimension of reality. Because there is another dimension. This is only one dimension. To really experience Shiva Tattva, because it's there. And there's no better way when the third eye is open, what we call the Ajna. Through the third eye, you can really tap even what we call, and we have talked about that in Becoming the Light Inner Journey Mastery Program, the different Maya kosha, the different envelope, the different chi that we have. And one of them is the Vishvana Maya kosha. It is tapping into what Devi Ma called the cosmic mind of God, where the Akash are there. The Akash is where everything is there. You can download anything, everything. We have access to everything. And through the Vishvaya Maya Kosha, this is where mystical experiences start happening. Like smell, otherworldly smell, seeing vision of deity, and I could go on and on, but I normally don't talk too much about this mystical experience because it's not something you want to start seeking for, because spirituality is really beyond all of those things. But I can tell you that when you start transmuting this sexual energy into divine energy, you can really experience what is beyond the physicality of this realm. Let's put it that way. Experiencing what is true bliss, going into ecstasy. And when the ojas start building up, you will notice that you vibrate, your energy you feel vibrate at a different level. You are centered, calm, you are at ease. You see, oja is all about, in life, when you go through life, most people go through life with a lot of resistance. If you pay attention at your life and you look, every little thing, people, even coming here when you walk in this door, will you tell me, Marian, did you say you had resistance the first night you came?
Oh yeah.
You had, you see? And as soon as you walk in, how did you feel?
Wonderful.
See? And it finally vanished away. So it's why it's really to become mindful and become aware that, and most people are well, oja is that nutrient, like that secret emollient that bring that oil, that divine oil, if you might call it, like the divine oil that will bring the will as a round wheel. So everything goes easy, no resistance. Because what caused suffering in your life is your resistance. It is all the barrier that you're causing for yourself, even entering and coming to satsang tonight. How many of you left your mind outside? Did you leave your mind outside tonight? Or you came here with judgment or thoughts and say, oh my God, what is this going to be? I hope it's not too long. Am I going to be bored? How many of you? Well, what were you thinking in the car? Oh, why are you pulling me here? I don't know, I don't think I want to go. You know, it's hard for people to try new things and break their boundaries, because the spiritual path is about breaking your boundaries. Your suffering you have created for yourself. Because if you look at beloved, the suffering doesn't really come from outside. Most of it is self-fabricated. You're causing it for your own resistance to everything. Because human beings are creatures of habit. You got to pay attention and become mindful. What are my creation, my habit, my energy habit? Your energy habit. Most energy habit for human beings is resistance and judgment. I'm not saying you are. This is for you to look inside of your own self. And what is blocking you to experience your joy, your true divinity? Doesn't matter if you're Muslim, if you're Buddhist, if you're Christian, whatever, or Hindu, whatever, is those are only identification, and they were conditioned throughout as you grow up. When you break free from that and you say, I really want to know, I want to break my boundaries, I want to experience and bring about an oja meaning bringing ease. So there is this lubrification within my own life process, where life is easy. When life, there is no friction, there is no conflict, and there is no resistance, there won't be any suffering. Life will be a joy. And when you realize that the dance of Shiva Tattva is all about that, is bliss, the only biggest boundary that is blocking the way is you. So when you, and I can tell you that from my own experience. I'm here to tell you because I was one of them, and I have such deep reverence and where I am today and to be here, because I am one who I can say I was from there and I'm here today. In that lifetime, even though it took many lifetimes to get here. So let's go back again a little bit more on oja, and then I'll take some question and answer, and then we'll start the process. Oja brings a deep vitality. It brings so many benefits and gifts, because it creates an energy field about you that you become a very powerful being, very influential without even opening your mouth, because it's your energy field that's creating that. And that's why I was saying one of the highest virtue in the yogic tradition has been chastity because of that. And what I mean, I don't mean just in terms of refraining from sexual activity or masturbation. Again, nothing, it's not a judgment on anything, but it's just also in the thoughts, holding the highest thought, always blessing all living beings wherever you go, instead of judging people, and keeping the highest, seeing their divinity each time, wherever you go, even in animals. You see what I'm saying, beloved? Because God, whatever you call it, Shiva Tattva, permeate everything, even in that cat, little cat Babaji. It's pure consciousness is everywhere. The divine permeate everywhere. And so oja, as a yogi and as a yogini, is the elixir of God. It's the lubrification, it is the priceless emollient that will open up that dimension through your third eye. And the third eye is very powerful, because You can have a lot of vision. You can see a lot of light. You can experience really other dimension. And most important is to really experience your true nature. And you know why? That's why it makes it, to talk about Shiva Tattva, almost impossible, because it's not something you can put into words. It's something to experience. And one of the best way to experience it is in the vibration of Om, in Nada Yoga, in Omkara. Om, the primordial sound of Shiva Tattva, of pure consciousness. A, U, M. And so in mantra yoga, as I said earlier, every sound has a form. And so especially Aum, because every sound has a vibration. And that's why as a yogini, when you learn how to spin all the chakra, it's really powerful. You feel it. It's like, that's the beauty about the science of self-realization, is it's a science. It's not based on belief system. You don't have to believe in anything. You can prove it to yourself. That's as simple as that. And that's the beauty. So, Aum, we will chant together for 5-10 minutes, and then we will go into the most powerful, one of the most powerful Om Namah Shivaya out loud. And before we do that, and then we will go into Nidra Yoga, where you lay down, and I will lead you into a meditation. Think of 3 intentions that you want to send out for yourself. Highest intention for you and humanity, or related to humanity. It could be anything you want. You pick something you want to bring into, because remember, we are co-creator. So with this energy, you can bring about. So from the Muladhara, the Swadhisthana, where sexual energy is, you can transmute it, eventually bring it to divine energy, and to allow the third eye to open up and to do what it needs to be done. But that's not the end of the journey on the spiritual path, because we could say in the yogic tradition of the self-realization, of enlightenment, from to darkness to light, ignorance, enlightenment. The whole journey is from the Muladhara to the Swarasthara. This is the 1,000 lotus petal, where it's outside. And that one is when the whole harmonic marriage takes place, and where Shiva Shakti meet. I won't go into all of this because this is a whole teaching, and it's so beautiful. Again, it's a lot of principle. Pure primordial energy, when she meets her lover, the divine union, which is pure consciousness. This is when you become one. You experience the whole of existence. You don't feel a body anymore, you don't feel a mind, because you transcend all your boundaries. And that is our true nature. So before we start, I'm going to take some question. Anyone has any question?
I think I posed this question before to you, that in this part of the journey that I'm on, that I find myself with
Speak a little louder.
This part of the journey I find myself on, I have an extremely wide open heart, and it feels as if it's a reservoir of love and empathy and openness and acceptance. At the same time, it feels that I'm exposed and vulnerable to others' pain.
You feel exposed and vulnerable and?
To others' pain. As if...
other people.
Pain, yes.
I see.
As if arrows and darts flying through the air, cast by others, and meant for others are finding my heart as their target.
Wow.
And I feel, I wonder, how does one sustain an open heart yet not suffer so?
That's such a beautiful question. I'll repeat it because I don't know if online they heard it. And I remember, Chris, when you wrote to Devi Ma your question, and that's why, even though I sent you some material, video, all that, but I wanted you to ask the question so everyone can benefit from that, because it's a very important question. And it shows that you're also an empath. Yeah. And for empath, it's very difficult when the Anahata opened up, because it opened up so much. So Chris was saying, how do you stay with your heart open? And as a matter of fact, that same question you asked, one of my baby, because I call them baby, as a mother, in a loving way, everyone is my babies. And so she lives in the UK, otherwise she'll be here tonight at the satsang. She asked the same question, exactly the same question. She asked it yesterday. So it's a common question for people who start awakening, especially when the energy start opening in the Anahata. And most of the time, you are an empath, and it's hard to protect yourself. So there are many ways you can do. First of all, if you're not on the spiritual path, you've got to be on the spiritual path. And that's why you're here tonight. And I'm so happy. Because when you are on the spiritual path, you will learn how to raise your energy. And this, you will learn how to transcend that. And you will learn a lot of tools, a lot of method where you can protect your energy. And it takes time. But just continue to allow yourself to be here. Don't close your heart, because you will do yourself a disservice by doing that. I would not recommend you to do this. Just continue loving and be here. And start chanting mantra. When you feel like you need to protect yourself, you can close your eyes, ground yourself to this present moment, go back to your breath, and then start mentally chant Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. There's a great Shiv Babaji Gorakshanat mantra also to protect yourself. I won't go into it now because it's an initiation. I chanted that over the chemotherapy when I don't know if some of you know my story, when I went through advanced breast cancer. I almost died of an anaphylactic shock reaction to the chemotherapy. It's a long story, but with Shiv Babaji Gorakshanat, which is known to be the embodiment of Shiva, which I didn't finish talking about Shiva earlier when I was saying where people get confused that there's Shiva Tattva, that principle of pure consciousness, and there's Shiva, that being that has been said that came over 10,000-15,000 years ago, who brought the science of self-realization. And there's debate about that. However, I would say, just to conclude on that, I truly feel from my own experience going in Bhava Samadhi that, and also there is proof throughout the yogic tradition and anthropology that there was such a being, a human being, who came on earth. And actually we don't know if he was human or whatever he was. It doesn't matter, but that he lived in Varanasi, he lived in India, and there was a transmission of this science of self-realization. And I'm sorry, I switched subject, but I didn't forget your question. We'll go back, because I just realized I started talking about that, but I didn't finish talking about that, because that's why people get confused. When you talk about Shiva, they think of Shiva, in the human form, they forget. But Shiva is a principle. It's Shiva Tattva, a pure consciousness. And like some master would say, oh, it's because I know that from my own experience, some of my previous spiritual master, they're completely in contradiction. One says that, a human being never came on the name of Shiva. Another one says, of course, it can. But there is proof, and it can be proven. So I just wanted to clarify that. So to go back to Chris's question, so that mantra to protect yourself and bring about a cocoon of energy, and chanting the mantra, because the mantra is a vibration and you can really protect yourself. And also, if you start paying attention and become mindful and practicing mindfulness, you will also feel that a lot of the suffering from other people is caused from your own thinking. Because whatever you absorb, you ingest it. So you have to be very, very careful what we call in the yogic tradition sensory impression. So everything we go about, we bombard it with sensory impression. The news, the media. So the Gautama Buddha said that often, to be very careful what you ingest and to become mindful, what are you ingesting on a moment daily? Watch your conversation with people. Be very careful with who you hang out with, because their energy field will affect your energy field. The whole idea of the spiritual path, and if you really want to grow, beloved Chris, and really learn to protect yourself, and instead, it's beyond that. What about being an emanation of the radiant, glorious light of our Creator? So wherever you go, you emanate that divine love to every human being. You bring healing. We're all capable of that. And where you feel completely at ease, in bliss, and that you can transcend the mind. We all can do that. And so it starts first to who are the people in your circle. And always the first thing I always say, always be in the proximity of the one who have walked the path, who vibrate at a higher level of energy, a higher frequency. So be very mindful of what you ingest. Sensory impression, it's karmic structure. Karma, it's just a memory. It's imprinted into the cellular, into the physical body, and into the subtle body. So, everything you ingest, the news, just be selective what you take in, because all of this will affect you unconsciously. So if you're not mindful what you ingest, at the end of the day, you're going to vomit. And that's where the vomiting is suffering. What you say, you feel the dart coming at you because you allowed it. You can't block that. And as you transcend and you learn and you transmute your energy to a higher frequency, things won't affect you the same way. Because if you had an oja that is more lubricated, things would be more at ease. You would not be so bothered by what's happening, and you would not be so empathic. You see what I'm saying? And it's beautiful if you having karmic outbursts like purification. You have to discern with viveka, what we call viveka, discernment. Is that, are you allowing yourself to take all that negativity? Or is it purification? And if it's purification coming from, which is wonderful because you're getting rid of karma. Karma just means memory. It's just accumulation from conditioning, garbage. If that's coming up, you cry, and because it's coming up, let's say from your childhood, you have been abused or whatever it was, or sexually abused, emotionally abused, physically abused, all of this cause samskara, they are impression. So when the hanata start opening up, then you start having purification, and then you're more vulnerable. But vulnerability and sensitivity are extremely important on the spiritual path, because when you learn how to transcend that and you allow the purification, the load becomes easier. And then you start transcending more and more, and things don't affect you the same way. And you will ingest a lot less from people. And as you build oja, life becomes easier with less friction, less resistance. You see, so mantra, go back to your breath, chant mentally, and be really mindful of what you ingest on a daily basis. Like, give me a quick example of when you feel dark. Can you give me an example? Is it from conversation that you have with people?
No, could just be sitting somewhere and say to my spouse or to a friend, just imagine people hurting, just feeling the hurt.
Speak a little bit.
Just feeling hurt. And elsewhere, yeah.
I see. You must be highly sensitive, which is a very beautiful quality. I have the same. That quality can get you to infinity very fast, because most people are not sensitive. That will pass, you will see. It's just a transition you're going through. When you feel that, just close your eyes, go back to your breath, and then chant. And eventually, you can learn the mantra of protection. And when you chanted, this is what I was saying on the chemotherapy when I almost died of an anaphylactic shock reaction to the chemotherapy. The doctor, when I went back to the cancer, didn't want to do the chemo, and I chanted that protection of mantra of Chief Babaji Garchana over the chemotherapy and on me. And they thought I was crazy to have that same chemo who almost killed me. And it was incredible. So you can learn how to protect yourself. And that's why I was saying that as you are on the spiritual path, meaning that you're doing sadhana, because to build your oja, you need sadhana, especially kriya. Kriya, working with the life force, the energy, with the breath. And then you learn to transmute that energy. You see what I'm saying, beloved? So it will get better and better and better. I can guarantee you that, because what you're going through, I've gone through the same thing. And just know it's a very beautiful quality. It's a rare quality, because most people are not sensitive. And that sensitivity and that vulnerability will take you in the beyond. Because to experience other dimension of reality, you have to be sensitive. If you live in your mind, and you're always in your logical mind, and you are not rendering yourself open, sensitive, and vulnerable, how are you going to experience the ultimate creation, what we call God? How can you merge with it? Because that separation was caused by us human, by the mind. Because the absolute truth, there is no separation. Shiva Tattva is right in this morning, you can experience it. And that sensitivity, it's a gift. It can become a CD. A CD is a spiritual power. Because as you build oja, you develop spiritual power. And that is another subject, another satsang. It's a phenomenal. And most human beings don't know their divine power they have. You see what I'm saying? Do you feel like Start with that baby step, and you will see huge improvement, more and more. And I encourage you to do sadhana, especially Siddha Satchit Kriya meditation, because it's inevitable. You're creating a distance. It will happen naturally because ojas build naturally. Any other question? Online, is there any question?
No.
Huh?
No.
No. Any question in the room? Yeah.
Hi, I have a question. I think I was listening mainly overall, but then I got a little bit tired and I faded a little bit. So I just want to just reiterate that basically what you're saying is like your lower chakra, your sacral chakra, like you build it to your heart and then to your crown chakra. Is that what you're saying?
Well, without going into the full discussion,
Right,
it's, the whole spiritual journey, if we sum it up, is from the Muladhara to the Swarasara. That energy move and open up those chakras, because those are the most important chakra, the 7 main important chakra. And as the energy move up, you will experience this existential reality very differently. People who have their energy in the Swadhisthana, they experience life very different from someone like Chris, who experiences his energy in his Anahata, who is starting to experience that. Someone who have their energy in the Vishuddhi experience life very different, and someone who has their energy in the Ajna, completely different. And someone who has really have gone through the whole Kundalini ascension are one with Shiva Tattva, are one with the whole of existence. They have merged the experience on a permanent Satchit Ananda of our true divine essence. But if you look, you can easily learn how to protect yourself. And first to start with a deep awareness, with mantra, with Kriya Yoga and deep meditation. And as the energy start moving and you creating a distance from the mind, you will see drastic change. It's different though if it comes out of purification. Purification is great because you're just getting rid of garbage. Garbage, like you remember we talked about in past satsang, the big bags that people carry all the time. All this conditioning from childhood, and from past life too, because people are reborn with a karmic structure they bring, with very strong impression, samskara, very strong vasana, very strong tendency. Yeah. So when you feel that, just don't allow yourself to go there. That's why I'm saying go back to your breath and bring the mantra Om Namah Shivaya. So let's move to the meditation. And I don't think there is more question. But this, what I just said, the last few sentences, that whole spiritual process can take many lifetimes. You know, depending on the person, their karmic structure, depending if they are in sadhana, depending on their longing. It depends on so many factors. Each person is very different. From here to here is a world of a difference. It's completely a different dimension of existence, here to here. And nothing, there is no wrong and there is no right. Because there is no value judgment, because only the mind brings any value judgment. Any brief question, the last one, and then we're going to start the meditation. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Sherry or Marianne, do you have any question? Okay. It's hard for me to see you.
Yeah.
Because of the light.
Light, yeah.
And online? No?
No.
Okay. So we're going to start. Sit with your spine straight. If you could sit with your leg cross-legged is best. And with your hands turned upward. And everyone understood oja, right? The power of oja? Okay. And this is to be discussed more in programs because it's a lot tonight, this subject. It's a very deep subject. So, Nada Yoga, it's the Anahata is the on-struck sound. And when you chant Om and you vocalize it out loud, eventually it becomes where you hear it in your Anahata, within your own heart chakra. It's not like audible, but you feel the vibration. With time, it comes to, that's why it's called the on-struck, because it does not need to be struck. That sound is always there. And when we say the Anahata, the heart chakra, it's not the heart itself, it's in that region. And it's a beautiful bridge there. Like I said, from the physical realm to the infinite, where it opened up the gate to divine energy. So, this is the primordial sound of the universe. So it's when you vibrate the sound out loud at equal intensity on each one, you will see that will vibrate in your lower chakra. U will vibrate in your Anahata, and will vibrate into your third eye area. So we're going to chant out loud together for about 5 minutes, and then we will go Om Namah Shivaya. And when I chant the mantra, I'll chant it first, and then you repeat for 3 times, and then we'll chant it together. Okay? And as we chant, feel the vibration within your being. Bring the sound from one center to the next center. And look slightly upward. You know, what we call the Shambhavi Mudra is looking up. Upward, where's the third eye? Okay, let's get started. No music yet. So let's start out loud. With your hands turned upward. Take a deep breath. Out loud, everyone. Now slowly diminish the sound, but keep chanting on, but gentler, like, and allow to hear the sound into your anahata, the unstruck sound. Do it still verbally, but very like take a deep breath. Now repeat after Devi Ma. Om Namah Shivaya.
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 Together, loud.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Look upward, like in towards, like your third eye.
Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om
Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Take a deep breath. Now, just feel the vibration within your body temple. And just after a moment, just lay down. All of you lay down on the ground and Shavasana with your hands turn upward. And we'll do a short guided meditation of transmuting sexual energy into divine energy. Make yourself at home. You can grab any pillow, anything you want for your neck or your legs. It's best to lay down because it's a Nidra yoga meditation. And so remember the sankalpa you made in the beginning, your 3 intention. And when I bring the word sankalpa, then you can bring your intention, your sankalpa. You can put a pillow below your knee if you need some support.
No, it's going to give me a fever.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, you can lie down like this.
Baby, could we
Put a
close the
pillow
window a
on
little bit because it's cold? Like,
me.
can we close these windows a little?
Are you cold? I'll close the
A
window.
little bit.
We'll close the window.
Yeah, the body temperature.
Would you close the window,
A little bit.
beloved?
Because she might need some air.
Yeah. And if you want a pillow for your neck,
I got one.
yeah. Miriam, would you like a pillow for your neck?
That's fine.
Huh?
I have one.
Yeah? Okay. Make sure you're very comfortable. And you're in a conscious pulse, meaning you're dead now. So, just let go.
Dad, I hope I have a near-death experience.
Well, you could eventually have that too. But we're not after experiences. It's always best not wanting any mystical experience because then as soon as you start wanting them, they don't come. They become obstacle. So I don't suggest you seek them. Let it unfold naturally and things just, the Divine Mother knows what is best for you. Now, when I mean the Divine Mother is the primordial energy, which is what we call in the yogic tradition Shakti. Shakti knows what is best for you. Also best to have your hands on the side, turn upward. Just make yourself comfortable, like you in your deathbed. You're going to die of your personality that you have created with your conditioning, your accumulation, and all the garbage that was fed spoon from government, society, media, unconsciously. You let go. Take a deep breath. We need the music. Yeah, perfect. And if the music is too loud, just please let us know. Become mindful of your breath. What a gift from our Creator, our breath. And it's okay if you fall asleep. This is all about completely rejuvenation of your physical body and your subtle body. So even if you fall asleep, your subconscious mind is doing all the work for you. It's very deep, deep, deep rejuvenation, and at a very deep level. So falling asleep, it's a compliment for Devi Ma. Chris, you can grab your pillow if you want for. Okay. Everyone, another second deep breath. Put the music a little louder. Okay. Now you are floating on a calm ocean. See yourself. It's midnight and the moon is full and it's reflecting on the calm ocean. A beautiful ocean, calm and peaceful. And you are laying flat on it. You're floating effortlessly. The ocean of divine love is supporting you, making you completely weightless. And you're floating and the water is warm and the water is caressing you. It's the water of the Divine Mother. And you're floating and then you see the reflection of the moon. When you open your eyes, you see this beautiful blue moon that is sending wave of divine love and is permeating every particle of your body temple. Everyone can hear the music is not too loud, right? And then as you're floating and floating, suddenly you notice that right below where your body is soaking and floating is starting to breaking down into particle. It's melting in the water. See every particle of your body, one by one, is going into the water. Every one of them. Your hands, your arms, your legs, your butt, your spine. See it. It's all dematerializing. And every little particle are going into the flow of the water. There's a gentle rhythm in the water. And as you're floating, going deeper and deeper, your hair is dematerializing. See your hair, your ears, now your breasts, your chest, your sexual organs, they're all dematerializing. Your legs, it's like melting into the water. You know, when you put a capsule in the water and it's like psh, it's falling like a cascade. Your eyes, your nose, melting, your skeleton, everything is melting. I would say turn the music a little louder, just a bit small. Everything about you is like your last breath. And now your face is going down the water. This is your last breath. You're all melting in that divine ocean of love. Just melting with the ocean. As each particle is traveling through that ocean, vast, infinite, travel into different direction, and one light comes, a swirling of light just come to your consciousness. There is no you anymore. Just let go completely. Swirling and swirling and swirling. It's like a big swirl of divine light. And it's coming to form the form made of light, of pure Shiva Tattva, of pure consciousness. Now with your consciousness, blow new life into it. Just blow into that new form. Bring that quality that you want. A divine quality. Just blow into that swirl of light that is becoming a form. And that form can be a deity, an ascended master, hold the vision. Ultimately, that new form you have created is you. You own divinity that you are. You, that true nature of who you are. You blew that new your consciousness into that new form now. And see at the very root base, at the very core of the Muladhara, where the sexual energy is. Bring it up mindfully, consciously with your awareness. See a shaft of light going up and piercing all the chakra. See the 7th chakra go up from the Muladhara, the Swadhisthana, the Manipuraka, the Anahata, the heart center, the throat chakra, and bring the energy to your third eye, to the Ajna. And now bring it all the way up above your head, the head of that light form that you have created. See the 1,000 petal lotus. See it blossoming. It's just pure ethereal light. And start spinning it. Spin, spin, spin. As it spins, it throws light of all different color into the universe. Into Shiva Tattva, and know that what you have just created is a temple for Shiva, a temple for your own divinity. Because temples are not built out of stone, they built out of divine love, they built out of pure consciousness. You have created yourself this Shiva temple. Anytime, any moment throughout your life, you can go back to your own temple, to your own shrine. Keep seeing the Sahasrara spinning and throwing and traveling all through the cosmos. Now bring your Sankalpa, your intention. Bring the first one and visualize it. What is your deepest intention? See it with your own energy. In Tantra, we create, we co-manifest with energy, with the power of energy, of consciousness, divine energy, thoughts, words, but especially with the imagination. So use that and hold that vision right now. It can be overcoming your boundaries. It can be for enlightenment. It can be finding your life purpose. It can be manifesting something that serves the highest good and your own self-realization. Now bring the second Sankalpa. vibrant, alive. Blow oja into it, blow divine energy into it. Now bring the third Sankalpa. Now, go back to the first one, or hold the vision of the first Sankalpa, the first intention. See it very vividly. Go back to the second one, reinforce it. And then bring the third one, reinforce the first, the second, and the third one. Now that temple of light you have created, you can go back anytime. Know that it's there for you, and that is your own divinity. Now, see that light is melting into the ocean of divine love. And now it's swirling back into particle. See your body temple re-manifesting, re-materializing. It's coming out of the ocean and it's rebuilding everything. See all the little particles. It's building your heart, your lungs. They're all coming together. They're all made out of different color. It's building your intestine, your kidney, your skeleton, your lymph system, your circular system, your nervous system, your brain, a new brain, all made out of light. Muscle, new lungs, breathing new life. New skin, new eyes. Now you have 3 eyes. A new face, a new ears, your hair. See all the particles, they're all coming back to life. Shh. And you're floating and floating, gently floating. You feel this breeze coming, a gentle warm breeze. A breeze of divine love. It's caressing your soul and your spirit, and then you know you're protected, always beloved, and that Creator loves you so dearly, and that you are one with the Divine Mother. There is no separation. That divine love is engulfing every particle of your being. You are wrapped, engulfed in the blanket of divine grace. rocking you like a baby. Feel the gentle rocking, and little by little, gently, it's loving every particle of your being. You are bathing in the ocean of divine grace and vibrating, and as you walk gently and gently, you're floating effortlessly. Ojas is like that. No resistance, no suffering, no friction. And now, and the year now is Shiva Tattva. At the very core of who you are, pure divine consciousness. As you walk, little waves start coming and the breeze is warmer and warmer. You gently being pushed on the shore, gently and gently. And you feel light, so light, like a feather. You have become a divine feather. You're reaching the shore right now, and the sunrise. A glorious new day has come, and you feel so light that the breeze just blow you away at ease. No conflict in the mind, no resistance. Just feel with pure divine love. You are on this white sandy beach, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning and the sunrise. And you're vibrating with this beautiful Shiva temple that you have created, where you can just take refuge within your heart chakra. That's where the shrine is, the blue pearl that Devi Ma talks so many times. So little by little, on your own time, just stretch your legs. Right side. There is a way to turn that is not disturbing on your heart. You bring your legs together like that, and you go on the right side like that, and gently get up. Breathing mindfully. Now, when you feel that, you feel like your heart, there is suffering and Chris, what it would be wonderful for you until you progress, when you feel this energy coming, start chanting on vocalize it for 5 minutes. And then you could go on for another 5 minutes, chant Om Namah Shivaya. It will create that distance and it will bring a new vibration within yourself. This is a great beginning for you. And then when you feel like it's too much during the day, go back to your breath and put your hands on your Anahata. And then breathe and be conscious and then go back. Know that within yourself, the divine is right here. You can take refuge into your home temple, right in there. And then you can home and do the Nada Yoga meditation, even if it's only for 2 minutes. But especially ground yourself in your breath to become mindful. Because then you can be in touch with your energy, because it's about transmuting energy. What we did tonight, there's not only a transmission, but there's also a transmuting of energy. When you chant mantra like that, it's inevitable. It transmutes the energy. It changes the energy. So we'll take one last breath together. And we will conclude satsang exactly 9 o'clock. We're right on time. Could not be more perfect. See, when we breathe like that, as one, there is no separation, because only the mind will separate. Only ego will create judgment, will create defensiveness, will create conflicts, will create friction. So when you build your oja, it's like everything becomes easy, effortless, and then you can return to experience your true nature and as you progress and transcend.